Right everyone, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my preview for Game Week 22 in Fantasy Premier League, as well as giving a little recap / review of Game Week 21 as well, so we can see how I did and if I did in fact get a green arrow. But as always, if you guys do like these videos, please leave a like, comment down below how you guys are preparing for Game Week 22, and as always, subscribe for more Fantasy Premier League content. You can always as well join the league code at the top of the screen. It is never too late to do so. But with all of that out the way, let's take a look into how I did in Game Week 21. So a pretty good week overall, 63 points, 15 above the average, and it did mean a green arrow. It means that I am ranked 293,160th, which is a little bit of an upgrade. As you guys know, the goal is to beat last year's overall rank, and we're still on track to do so. However, some bad weeks and some good weeks can make your rank change drastically when you are sort of in the top 500k, so we will have to see. But I mean, the whole reason really that I got this arrow was mainly because of the captaincy choice of Mohamed Salah. If I did not captain him, I probably would have seen a red arrow, to be honest, even though I would have been slightly above the average. When you're slightly above the average in like the top top like 500k, you are still going to see down creases in your ranks. So that was pretty solid choice for me. Something I don't usually do that often is actually captain the right person, but it seemed to pay off this week. Also a big haul for Martinez, 10 points, very nice for Aston Villa. Barnes getting the goal as well, he was the man that I brought in, so he definitely paid off. Everyone else though, nothing really too impressive. All my defenders only getting the 1 and 2 points. James and Ziyech actually did not even start. Also with Stones, none of these three started their games, so a bit disappointing from them. Obviously players could come on though, but that was especially a shame because City obviously kept a clean sheet. But yeah, Ziyech or James are probably going to be one of the ones that go for the next week, because at the end of the day, we've been performing quite well with our current formation. Neither of those two have really played in it, so I'm sort of thinking that against Spurs it's unlikely that either will play, especially like at least one of them, so that does probably mean that one of them is going to go. Fernandes on a bit of a decrease in his form in FPL, but you know, with Southampton it's still a game he can pick up points in. Foden as well, a bit disappointing, you know, Man City have had two fairly easy games. He started both and not really done anything, so a bit of a shame from him. But yeah, I've still got Meslier. I want to really sort of get rid of some of these guys on the bench. Obviously, having this sort of bench talent meant that Kufau and Adams, or Sufau I should say, did get on. Same with James, don't think I started him either. So, you know, at least that's something. And yeah, I guess when I do eventually decrease, hopefully I'll have a bit of a better idea of which players are starting what games. But if we do have a little look, as we see a shock surprise for Newcastle beating Everton, maybe Everton not looking like the team that they once were. Newcastle still a bit dodgy, so I would stay away from them. Palace and Wolves, two teams again that I'd stay away from. City only getting the one goal against Sheffield, maybe. I don't know, I don't really want to say look at Sheffield's players, maybe they're getting better, I still would avoid them. City though, obviously, they beat them 1-0 last time I think, so maybe City's form can still pick up and score some more goals. West Brom and Fulham 2-2. Some of Fulham's, you know, attacking talent looking fairly exciting, but I wouldn't jump on anyone now, but they are quite an exciting team to get into. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Again, no one really stood out here. I'd still maybe keep assets from these teams if you have them. Southampton losing 1-0 to Aston Villa, quite controversially, maybe with a handball and a crazy offside, so Southampton can maybe feel a bit aggrieved about that. Villa still looking strong though, winning their games. Chelsea looking strong against Burnley, a very good performance with Tuchel. I still think it's early to know who's going to play. I was very, very tempted, guys, to bring in Callum Hudson-Odoi this week, but I don't think I am. They're against Tottenham. Obviously, he's not classed as a defender, so if something like a 0-0 happens, which could be sort of likely, with Tottenham sitting back, I'm not too sure. But if you did bring him in, I think that's a decent shout. Alonso, if you wanted to punt on him as well. Rudiger, I think, is only 4.5 million. So if we maybe see these guys start again against Spurs, maybe some of these will become a bit more likely to stay in the team. But with Kante back, with the front three looking a bit uncertain, I think that right now you just hold off Chelsea for maybe an extra week. But getting into Leicester v Leeds, if you have the Leeds attackers, you're still laughing. Leeds are still looking like a great team. Leicester maybe a little bit worse form, but you've still got Barnes and Maddison contributing, so if you have them, I still wouldn't be worried. West Ham won, Liverpool won. West Ham would still keep on to them because they are against Liverpool, so you can't really have too much of a go. Salah scoring, and I'm glad that I captained him because I did just think that he hasn't really scored lately, and you know that he's bound to score eventually. He's Mo Salah, so a good captaincy choice there. Spurs maybe the surprise, losing 1-0 to Brighton. Obviously no Harry Kane. Son not looking quite like himself lately either. A good result for Brighton there, and who knows how Spurs' form is going to look like whilst Harry Kane is out. He's obviously one of their better players, but that is pretty much how my week went, guys. Let me know how yours went in the comments down below, and with that said, let's get into how my team is shaping up for Game Week 22. So as you can see, a change has been made, and that is Hakim Ziyech coming out for Jack Grealish. Triple Aston Villa, which I'm a bit sceptical about. I think West Ham at home is a decent fixture to have. I think eventually maybe we'll see Watkins come out for someone, but who I'm not quite too sure just yet. But I'm looking, my team's looking alright at the moment. Got Salah and Robertson against Brighton. Salah captaincy. I think that Bruno could be a decent shout. I think even a Grealish or a Barnes could be an out there shout, to be honest. But I've just gone with the maybe safe option of Mo Salah. Soufal, Stones, Robertson looks pretty decent at the back with Martinez as well. Obviously, I have some Aston Villa versus West Ham in there, so who knows, maybe they could all sort of not get many points. Maybe they all could. It all sort of depends. Barnes against Fulham's a decent fixture. Foden and Stones against Burnley away is not too bad as well. Foden, because he hasn't scored or assisted in his last two, there is a chance that he might not start this game. But yeah, who knows. I mean, I do have Adams and James to come off the bench. James probably won't start just because of how good Chelsea have been at the moment. Hudson-Odoi on the right wing back, Alonso at left wing back. I don't really see where James fits in unless you put him at right-sided centre-back, but then Azpilicueta has scored as well, so James probably not going to start that game. Might have to look at getting rid of him, unfortunately. I did pick Martinez over Meslier, though. I think maybe a little bit more likely that Villa keep a clean sheet over him at Leeds, but not too sure. You could probably toss those guys up just a little bit. But yeah, Watkins, Antonio, decent striking options. Obviously, if it's 0-0, I have that covered. So it's unlikely that all of these Villa and West Ham players are going to make returns. But hopefully they do. Grealish, I think, was probably the most appealing midfielder. Like I said, Hudson-Odoi cut very close. Even Alonso cut close to get maybe James out for Alonso. Alonso does love a goal against Tottenham. But I don't know, I've just played it safe. I didn't want to take the risk. I want those green arrows to keep coming. So hopefully we are on the track to do so. But obviously, as you guys know, I do like to focus on the free fixtures to let you guys in on who I think you should be bringing in. I think Burnley v Man City is one. Burnley, yes, they were on good form, but aren't looking quite so good. I think City will still be able to score a few goals against them. Liverpool v Brighton, looks like Liverpool are back on it. Not too sure what happened with Mane if he's out, but either way, Liverpool coach, Salah's still a good option. Firmino picking up a little bit of form as well for an outside shout. And the next game is probably a little bit of a tougher one. I think I'd probably go for Leeds versus Everton. Leeds are always just attacking, so I think that they will have some attacking returns. I think Everton could look to try and bounce back as well, so maybe some attacking players from those two teams isn't the wrong way to go. But that is going to be it, guys, my preview for Game Week 22. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe for more Fantasy Premier League content. My review and recap of this game week will be out after it does commence, as well as probably a mixed-in preview of Game Week 23 as well. So do, in fact, stay in tune for that. Just a quick notification as well. Do make sure that you stay sort of in the loop of what's happening with Game Week 26. As obviously after the FA Cup, we will be seeing maybe some fixtures from Game Week 29 move to 26. So just keep that in your minds, guys, for the future. But I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.